Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, guys. Today we are in officially the fight day of not only Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov but also UFC 327, which is absolutely stacked. So I wanna give out my final predictions for you guys, which is Conor Ben versus Regis Prograis and maybe Justice Huni versus Fraser Clark later. So Conor Ben, this is his Super boxing debut, but the thing is, the most confusing bit for me is that he is said to be this huge star by Dana White and everyone involved in Zuba boxing. Right? Like they spent $50 million to actually get him out from Matchroom boxing, but now in his first fight while signed with Dana White, right? It's in a ring card and not in a sofa card. Like that is a very confusing bit. Even though like I understand the politics, I get that, because Turkey and Dana are so close that obviously Turkey owns the ring, so like that's how it works. But still, it's a bit sketchy to say the least. So yeah, anything before this fight was announced, I had no idea who Regis Prograis was. I'll be honest, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys didn't. I'm pretty sure most of you guys didn't know who even Conor Ben was. So yeah, anyways, this will be I feel like it's gonna be an easy knockout for Conor Ben. Yeah, this is an undefeated guy and has a lot of knockouts, but still, we all know how this shit works. We have seen these types of fights play out over and over again. And though I won't necessarily call them setups because that may be a bit too disrespectful, still we know how it works and we know that Conor Ben will knock this guy out easily. And another surprising thing is that Conor has been hyped up by super boxing and finally entered. He finally gained freedom, I guess you could say, but still, his first fight while signed with Zuffa isn't even for a title, any title. So that's also a bit disappointing, and it's just the whole thing is just very underwhelming. Conor Ben, out of everyone else, fighting basically a no name and who isn't even a champion, an undefeated guy, yes, but still, it just feels like Ben Whitaker versus Benjamin Kavasi all over again. So yeah, anyways, I feel like more than anything, the hype for tonight is Conor Ben first of all making his debut, and also Tyson Makura. I already analyzed that fight, but the thing is the entire thing is going on Netflix, right? Like we can actually watch it legally, like we can actually watch it for free. Like most of us have Netflix, I presume. Like I personally have it, and as someone living in Bangladesh, that may say a lot, but still, I'm really glad that more than anything that we have this opportunity, to watch a Fury fight in Netflix. And to be honest, as far as the politics go, I feel like if the business side of boxing, if it's actually more profitable for them to do fights on Netflix, for example, then why not? I mean, we all know PBC does their fights on, like streams their fights for free on Amazon Prime, and that's working perfectly for them. We have Benavides versus Zurdo coming up, and that's also for free if you have Amazon Prime. So more than anything, it's just like if this will be a recurring pattern of events, then that will be really great actually. Not only for me but also for you, like for most MF, for most boxing fans, let's just say. Anyways, we have another very important fight in the undercard. No, not another, in the main card, yeah. Justice Huni versus Fraser Clark. So Justice Huni, he's back, and it's I guess a bit hyped, but still, I'm really glad to see him back because I really appreciate him. I really like him. In the Fabio Worley fight, for example, he looked very good. He obviously, Fabio did what Fabio does, but still, you have to give him his flowers. Justice Huni, he's a man who is very technical and has a lot of power, let's just say. Obviously not enough to put out like iron chins like Usyk, or more importantly Fabio Wardley, but still you have to understand that like the level of Justice Huni basically. And Fraser Clark, yeah, also another one who is I'm surprised actually, like a lot of people are picking Fraser Clark in this fight, but I personally think like Fraser Clark, like he has gotten a bit older. Let's be honest, like he's in the same Fraser Clark who who used to who used to look good, let's just say. But more than anything, I feel like Justice Huni can get this done. I my prediction is Justice Huni by a decision. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight, yeah, for sure. Like for sure, tune into this, guys, because we know that the winner will fight Okoli, Allen, or I guess Hargovich, but still, it will be an entertaining fight. Trust me, guys. Anyways, and I will break like like this fight Clark versus what's his name, Hooney. Got the Conor Ben fight, Fury versus Makhmudov, and also I believe there's another heavyweight fight for the triple BOC, something like something, another boxing title. So yeah, I'll break all four down as soon as I watch it, as soon as the interview ends, and also tomorrow morning UFC 327. Like this is the first time I'll be breaking down fights. From the as far as from the early prelims, the Kelvin Gaston fight. Yeah, that's very important. And you guys know how I like to do it. As soon as the fight ends, I take this camera and while I start the recording, I'm standing up, and while I end it, I'm standing up. So no editing needed. Anyways, I'm really hyped for it. That's my thoughts on it, guys. You guys will make sure to let me know what you guys think. Inshallah, I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.